First up right now, we are following new developments on the shoreline where people coming from New York were denied COVID vaccines at the CVS in Waterford.
And then police showed up to keep the peace when some of those people just would not leave. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Mike Savino is live now with some new information. And Mike, this was really quite a scene.
Yes, and even beyond that, just some confusion, at least according to some of those people from New York. I talked with one couple who says that they weren't even aware that they weren't eligible to get the vaccines here until they arrived today. Now, CVS put out a statement this afternoon saying that they are complying with all of the rules here in Connecticut. Of course, that means you either have to live here or work here on top of meeting whatever phase we're in to be eligible to get the vaccine. But again, this couple says that they were unaware of this. They say CVS actually notified them that the appointments were available and that they scheduled these appointments a week ago. And again, it was only when they came here today that they were told that they were not eligible because they're not Connecticut residents. Governor Ned Lamont addressed this during his press conference today and says that's not supposed to be the case. He says that that requirement has been widely publicized, and CVS and private providers are supposed to be checking for that when you schedule your appointment.
I don't know what the process is here, but it's disheartening because we're not trying to be fraudulent. We want a vaccine so we can stay healthy. That's the crime, if there is a crime.
You got to live here in Connecticut or work here in Connecticut. You got to identify yourself as such when you sign on to, say, that CVS site to make that appointment.
Now, CVS also said in that statement that they were not the ones who called police. Police were here earlier in the afternoon, well before I talked with that couple. The chief telling me that they were here while another group of people refused to leave, as you mentioned, Aaron. They were here talking with DPH. Police were just here to keep the peace. No arrests were made. Those people were also denied the vaccine. Live from Waterford, Mike Savino, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Mike, thank you very much. The latest right now on the coronavirus here in Connecticut. Between overbooking appointments and Winter Storm Cooper delays, it has really been one of the most difficult weeks of the vaccine rollout. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Matthew Campbell is live tonight with more on whether the state is now back on track. Matthew?
Yeah, Mark, for the most part, yes. There were 10 to 15,000 people who had to be rescheduled due to Winter Storm Cooper, and the goal was to get them all vaccinated by Sunday, and it looks like we are going to achieve this. Now, what about those cancellations? We saw hundreds get bumped due to overbookings. Now, this happened at ECHN this week and Waterbury Hospital and Yukon Health last week. The potential solution is a forecast from the White House confirming states will know 3 weeks in advance how many doses they're going to be receiving. Now, that forecast has not started, but the state says there's now at least a baseline that we can expect.
They did share with us that the forecast we have for next week, we can count on for the future weeks as well, as a minimum. So maybe it'll increase further, but they said you can at least count on that number. So that's very helpful in terms of us being able to provide, better headlights for our providers about what they can expect.
Now, we have been averaging 46,000 first doses each week, and even with these setbacks, the state remains fourth in the nation in vaccinations. Live here at the Digital Desk, Matthew Campbell, Channel 3 News.
Matthew, thank you. Now